Hello everyone, I'm John, and this is the talk we finally need to have. I just want two things from you. Your time, and for you to listen. It's very appreciated. So for about 2 weeks, I haven't been really voicing my content at all. And a lot of you have reached out to me and asked why, what's going on, and whatnot. And so here goes. First and foremost, as a creator for Choices type content, it has been fun, a cool experience, especially for those of you who have felt so strong enough to not just come to my channel for the experience, the content, and what I do. Even more so, it made my heart swell as you felt strong enough to hit that free button, which is subscribe, meaning that you wanted to come back for more. And not just that, there are members who have gone and done the next step and shown appreciation and thankfulness by hitting the join feature on YouTube, as well as tuning into my live stream. You're all amazing, and I want to give each and every one of you a hug. You're literally the reason I do what I do, and I exist at this point. So, thank you. However, like humanity, there is a negative side to it as well. There are tons of hurtful comments that are left every single day. Anywhere from targeting you as a male, to your skin color, your voice, or the voices that I do, how I look, etc. And then the actions people take as well. Even to go as far as use defamation to cancel me out, especially during cancel culture. In case you haven't been here for that, here's the abridged version. Because of my voice and some of the voices that I've done, people have said I was against people of differing skin colors, because apparently a voice conveys that now. I've also been told how against women I am, about how I objectify them, even how against rights of everyone I am that just wants to find love no matter who they want to love. Even though my actions and words and whatnot for over a decade, even before I became a creator, state completely the opposite. But when pushing a narrative, with literally and figuratively no evidence whatsoever, they just completely ignore the facts and push it anyway. And a lot of people accepted it, sadly. Worst of all, a fellow creator that I helped become one aligned with the people that were doing it. Egged them on. Even made a huge Tumblr post where they not just endorsed them, but also went against me and everything else. Only to very shortly after take it down. But it was enough to be an impact and extremely hurtful to me and this community. But then again, I've seen tons of creators go after other creators because views and likes and subscribes and all that other thing. So it's nothing new. However, it's a game I still refuse to play. You've said to ignore them, and for the longest time, I have. However, when it happens every single day for years upon years, these are some dedicated people. Let's put it that way. Where, because YouTube has such a flawed system, you report a comment and it stays on your channel. You actually have to remove that comment, even if you flag it. That's how flawed the system is with YouTube. And then because you remove the comment, YouTube goes, oh, well, hey, no harm, no foul. Then if you want to block them, you have to literally go to their profile and you have to block them so they can no longer comment, even though there's basically ways around that. Or if they're really dedicated about it, they go and make no accounts. It's really quite easy. Right now, the daily average for removing comments is about 12 a day. Awesome. And the reason why I do it is because I don't want those things on my community, on my channel, at all. And even over the past couple years, people have gone out of their way to go and make Twitter, Facebook pages, accounts, Instagram accounts, and whatnot. And what do? They impersonate me. Say that I took over their accounts, I'm the bad person in all this, while simultaneously on their new accounts, because they're using my name, my copyrighted artwork, even my picture, my face, etc., they go and they state really bad things, and then they take those things out of context, plaster them all over the internet, and go, this is who he is. Seems fair. And for many years, I kept silent about it. I'd occasionally make a post about it, declaring that I was an official account, that wasn't me posting or whatnot, but eventually you give up hope. of anyone caring, listening to, or whatnot. Even trying to bring awareness of the situation has led to, well, silence. But let's go back in time before I was a creator for just a moment. Let me say I've not just seen some things, I've definitely gone through some things as well. Things that if I began talking about, YouTube would either obliterate this channel to there would be no existence, and you would no longer hear from me, or just literally remove me completely off the platform. In case you're wondering why I state that, it's actually been done before. I have made channel or videos in the past on this channel talking about some of my issues, some of the things I went through, while simultaneously also making videos on reasons not to give up. YouTube removed them completely off the platform and stated that this was not the platform for those types of videos. This is also before a lot of big creators a few years ago came out about certain issues that they were going through, though the smaller in comparison to some of the things I talked about. Still though, but by then, after battling the platform as a very tiny creator, also a person with no real community, I was tired, and also facing all new battles that I was dealing with and ahead of me. That being said, I do want to talk about these things, and I want you to know my story. Because I promise you, once you actually get to hear it, you'll understand where I've come from, and where I've come to. What points I've reached. Unspeakable things that hopefully you have never had to experience, or gone through. Things that I have. Things that I need to get off my chest. And maybe, just maybe, it'll help me move forward. I'm hoping you'll learn more about me, and that you'll understand me. Something that even to this day, my friends don't even have the ability to do, and it's difficult for them because I keep everything extremely close to, as the saying says, the chest. And it's also time I talk about some of these things, especially before I am no longer among the living. And above all, maybe it'll help others. Others who feel very alone. And at the very least, it'll help them knowing they aren't. Maybe it'll help them find their own voice. Encourage them to find their voice. Because everyone deserves one. But again, refer to, as I stated before, YouTube, the platform as a whole. You have to be careful with words and phrases and anything, because literally YouTube will obliterate it. And you. With what's going on, my childhood, teenage, and adult years and issues, everything I've experienced, from the pain of loss of friends, family, a loved one who I considered a soulmate, to dealing with two special needs brothers and raising them for 18 plus years. I've been the legs of one every single day, dealing with everything they go through and put me through. Then everything as a content creator. Let's just say it's been a bit much. Oh, and let's also not forget this year. Boy, oh boy. This year. Oh, and it's also Christmas. Much like every holiday, or any holiday, with all this stuff on my plate. And no actual food on it. And no real Christmas for myself. Let's also not forget the very persistent issues inside myself, like my lung illness and other lifelong chronic life issues. And I'm also sure there's probably a lot of damages up in my head on many different levels from everything that I've gone through my entire life. Which, by the way, if you need any specific details or whatnot, because a lot of the wording has had to be tiptoed around because of, again, YouTube, the platform, feel free to ask down below in the comment section. So now a question for you. How do you think I'm doing? Let me go ahead and answer that for you. Not well. Not well at all. I set out to make something incredible with this community, and I want to bring happiness, fun, smiles, and so much more, especially to people who really need it, and above all else, deserve it. My intention, much like my original Facebook page name, was Daily Dose of Awesome. I also wanted to open some minds, bring people out from the rain and or darkness into a place that was at least protected from both. I also wanted to bring awareness to issues, kind of like some of my own, but many other things, and especially things that are going on to this very moment that we all over not just my country, but all over the world, need to fix. But human nature is a thing that does, unfortunately, exist. And where I want people to be more open-minded, like expanding their empathy, for starters. Like I said, human nature, where we only typically care about things that are affecting us, really. Like, we don't really care, because of human nature, about things that are around us that don't directly affect us, and especially to things that happen to people that are strangers. Like, after everything that's been done to me, and everything that's currently happening to me, and everything else, I feel very torn apart. Like, I've struggled my entire life to find myself, and like, you go around picking up pieces, and it seems like right when you have a handful of them, someone comes along and either knocks them out of your hands and just all over the place, or takes them from you. And then simultaneously, because of what I've been through, I try and be a support for anyone and everyone. And even when they get that support, and they get it, and they take it, and some people use me, and then, like, literally never speak again. Or they aim to hurt me. But I've continued, even with all of that, even with everything that I've gone through, to support people. So it's time for an analogy. Really bad one, probably, but let's just do it. There's a support beam that's holding a building up. It's been breaking for a while, and no one seemed to have cared or notice. Out of sight and out of mind. So that support beam, it continues to do its job. Because let's give that support beam a consciousness. If you give way, it would hurt everyone inside, but everyone around it as well. So perhaps this is the moment you find the support beam in bad condition. It perhaps needs to be addressed. Perhaps a system needs to be made. A support system of sorts, for not just that specific support beam in question, but any and other supports as well. And also future supports that are put up all around the world, so they can continue doing their job for the long haul. I still want to do my job. I still want to help. I still want to be supportive. And I've at least been told by those who I have helped that I'm really good at it. It may also have something to do with not wanting to hurt people because of what I've been through myself. That I would rather shoulder burdens, especially those burdens, and help people get things off their chest too, to shoulder your pain, to shoulder everything I can. Because I know what I've been through, and I know that I can be that person. Because it's literally and figuratively what I've been engineered, apparently, to do. And just in case you don't care, you don't wish to be woke, you just want to enjoy the content, that's fine too. I want to continue doing the content, because again, I want to hear you smile, that you laughed, that you got happiness brought to you. Because when you really think about it, that's just another form of support. And it's maybe one of the only reasons I have left to live. Perhaps, just perhaps, I also want to make friends along the way, which I am really lacking on that front, unfortunately. Maybe also make some connections along the way in this thing called life, especially mine, before it ends, with what brief time I have left. Aside from that, I'm sure this has all ran on long enough for one video, and there is a lot to unload. The only thing right now that I am also pondering is if I should go and make a new channel. I ponder that maybe, just maybe, people see the numbers next to my name and they're just don't take me serious. Like, there's a lot of people who don't have numbers next to their name and they're taking a lot more, like, just serious. And I don't know, it's just a personal observation based on a lot of content creators above me. Whether it be when I was on Mixer, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, a lot of platforms. A lot of the big people do not have a number next to their name. Again, personal observation. I'm just having a really hard time trying to realize or come up with something original. Because unfortunately, my original name before the 23 was taken sadly. And unfortunately, for me, creativity was something that was taken from me when I was a very young individual. Perhaps that's a discussion for another time and another platform. Though I would like for YouTube to change so we can especially help one another out, but I doubt that will happen because they have not been listening, and I don't believe they will. I digress. This took me a lot of time to do, and I wanted to talk on a very coherent thought process. And I wrote down a lot of my thoughts and a lot of things that I've been going through. And it's a lot to unpack, it's a lot to unload. And with very little detail, too, because I didn't want this video to run on forever. So, with that being said, thank you again for watching. Hopefully you reached the end of this video. Hopefully, at the very least, you got to understand what's been going on. You got to understand me a little bit better. And all I can say is, consider sharing this. Consider sitting in deep thought, absorbing everything you've heard, everything that I have put out there, or going down to the comment section below and asking for even more information. I will be glad, as many people who have ever commented in my comment section can say, is I always reply back, especially if there is a question. That is one of the benefits of being a smaller creator. You are able to go and address every single comment. And without further ado, consider also, besides sharing this, consider liking the video if you did. And if you're not subscribed, consider also subscribing. Thanks again for watching, especially thank you for understanding, and here's to next year. Hopefully it'll be better. Peace out, and much love.